It's a night of firsts here tonight on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network, as in the second game of 2019, the UCSB Gauchos welcome the team in first place overall in the West Coast Hockey Conference, the Loyola Marymount University Lions, to the Snyder Rink at Ice in Paradise for the first time in program history. Hi everybody, Eric Ebbelhawk with Kyle Nicholas here with you, streaming around the world on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. Video on YouTube and Facebook Live, as well as audio only on MixLR. It's a fantastic Friday, and Kyle, a fantastic opportunity for UCSB to throw a wrench into the top of the table in the conference.
Well, first of all, let me just say it is a very good thing to be back on this side of the rink and away from center ice. Nice to be back on the microphone for this one, but nonetheless, an interesting first test for ice hockey at UCSB in their first game of 2019 with the CSUN Matadors coming into town, but it's not going to get any easier with this one. Loyola Marymount currently the top team in the West Coast Hockey Conference. This is certainly going to be a very tall test for the Gauchos, and here's the other thing for this Loyola Marymount team. We talk an awful lot about how these teams tend to have a little bit of trouble when it comes to traveling. Sometimes it's very difficult to bring a full contingent of players to away games, and that's certainly no exception tonight, as Loyola Marymount is missing a good chunk of their lineup. But at the same time, their lineup is so massive ahead of time, they're still going to be able to equate the field to what equates to essentially a full team out here tonight.
Yeah, 21 skaters tonight for Loyola Marymount against UCSB. It's similar to the opposition they faced last time when CSUN, ranked number 9 in the ACHA West Division, now number 7, defeated the Gauchos last time out. 6-1 was the final there, as the Gauchos were outshot 58-32. CSUN scoring 2 goals in each of the periods, getting a hat trick by Captain John Michael Lauren. 2 goals on the power play, 1 shorthanded. UCSB's lone goal coming off the stick of Andrew Vieira, assisted by Cole Slankovich and Tyler Barone. And Kyle, I think the biggest thing to take away from that game is that the special team struggles have continued for UCSB in 2019, and the Gauchos certainly cannot afford to get outshot as they were against the Matadors, against this Lions team tonight.
That's going to be a very tall order for a team that's as stacked with offensive talent as this Loyola Marymount team. We'll get to that in just a second. But as you mentioned, a little bit of a change of pace here for ice hockey at UCSB. What essentially was more or less the thing that carried them through the 2018 half of the season was their special teams. The penalty kill was good. The power play was lights out for this ice hockey at UCSB team. While they're not necessarily the best team offensively, they can rely on that power play to pot a goal. It seemed like just about every time they hit the ice, including scoring 3 times against a very good team in Long Beach State. Went completely dry against Cal State Northridge last week. And of course, CSUN going 3-4-5 on the power play. That's not necessarily going to be a recipe for success when you're going against a team like Loyola that's packed with as much talent as they are, not to mention young talent for these Lions as well.
It'll be a good challenge for UCSB, who has struggled to score at 5-on-5. Just 11 of their 23 goals this season have come at level pegging. Cole Slankovich, though, leads the team in 5-on-5 points. He does so with 2 goals and 4 assists, riding a 3-game assist streak. But as you mentioned, Kyle, this LMU team riding a 6-game unbeaten streak coming into tonight's contest. And in doing so, in these 6 wins, they've outscored opponents 46-13 and got nearly 66% of the shots for in the contest. UCSB is going to have to keep their eyes open, not only for leading goal scorer freshman Nick Mouthy of Yorba Linda, but goal scorers Austin Billings, number 18, and number 14, Brian Clem. Each of those 13 and 12 goals apiece for Loyola will give the Gaucho defense fits.
Also got to keep your eye on number 16, Connor Kilkenny, the 5'9 freshman out of Lone Tree, Colorado. 19 games played. He's the only Lion that I can see on our list that has been in every single game that the Lions have played so far this season. He also has 13 goals and 24 points. 2 of those goals have been game winners. So the tail of the tape for this Loyola Marymount team is very similar to that of one from CSUN. It's a very balanced, depth-heavy scoring contingent that they have. They can score from any line, anywhere on the roster. You can expect to see them score just about any line they throw over the ice. It'll be a real tough test for the Gauchos.
And we'll find out how UCSB plans to deal with that test as we bring in the third member of our broadcast crew, KCSB sports head Arthur Wilkie, who's on the Gaucho bench with UCSB head coach Scott Hires. Arthur.
Last time out against CSUN, tough game for UCSB, but what are some of the positives that you can build off of that game and take it into tonight?
I'd say the most positive thing we did is we tried to get the puck low and try and work in their zone more. Few games before that, we were having trouble with that, but lately, as of late, we're getting better at getting the puck a little bit lower.
LMU's only dropped 2 games in the WCHC so far, so what do they bring to the table that could be a threat to the Gauchos tonight?
Looks like they got a lot of kids on the team. I guess they got a lot of freshmen, so you got youth. So we'll see how it goes.
Andrew Vieira, you got his second goal in the game against CSUN, and what does that mean for this team to have a leader like that from the blue line leading the team in points?
Builds a lot of confidence. Shows that, like you said, leadership. I think that the younger kids thrive off that. They see when their leader's putting it on the line that they need to step it up as well.
All right, thank you, Coach. Best of luck tonight. Appreciate it. Back to you guys.
Big thanks to Arthur Wilkie and head coach Scott Hires joining us here on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. This is the Ice in Paradise pregame show. Visit iceinparadise.org to find out about all the ice skating options offered at Santa Barbara's premier ice hockey rink. Well, the last thing we pick up for the Ice in Paradise pregame show, as we always do, we close out with Kyle's Keys. Kyle, what do the Gauchos have to look forward to in tonight's contest against the top team in the conference?
Well, the first key of the game is going to be something I noticed that the Gauchos did particularly well against CSUN, especially in the first period. Their gap control when it came to the neutral zone in particular was very good. They did a lot to limit the space, limit the ability for the CSUN Matadors to pick up speed and really try to burn the Gauchos the way the Long Beach State 49ers were able to do. So look for the Gauchos to really make sure that they can close off that space between the two blue lines and try to slow this Loyola Marymount team down. A large chunk of that was due to the return to the lineup of Eric Valois, the good skating defenseman. Expect to rely a lot on the Gauchos defense, a lot of skating. Good tight gap control is really going to make a difference for the Gauchos here tonight. Second key to tonight's game is going to be you got to limit the shots against. The Gauchos are starting for the first time this season backup goaltender Logan Guerrero. Not to mention, this is a bit of a rough one that you want to start your first game of the season with. So for the Gauchos, introduce him into this game slowly, give him an opportunity to kind of get acclimated, see some of those more routine shots at first, really get into this one. The Gauchos have leaned very heavily so far on Lennon Karma. Karma getting the night off with these two teams meeting again tomorrow. So big opportunity here for Guerrero to really get into this game, give himself a little bit of an opportunity to kind of just acclimate to it, and for the Gauchos also to limit scoring chances by doing that. And the last key to tonight's game, use the opportunities you're given. This is a very good defensive team in Loyola Marymount. They will give up chances, not very many of them, however. So when you get the opportunity to attack, you have to take it, but you got to play your defensive game first. So keep your eyes open, use the opportunities you're given, try to make the most of them, play as strong a defense as you can in between.
We hope your eyes and ears are open wherever you're joining us around the world on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network as the Gauchos take on the West Coast Hockey Conference leading Loyola Marymount Lions for the first time since LMU reestablished their program back in 2006 and for the first time in the Ice in Paradise era. We pause for the national anthem. We'll be back for the opening puck drop after this. Big one here tonight from the Snyder Rink at Ice in Paradise in Goleta. Time now to take a look at the starting lines for both sides. For visiting Loyola Marymount, they send out in goal Hayden Stocker, the freshman out of Corte Madera, California. For Stocker, this will be his 4th game of the season. He comes in with a 3-0 record, a 263 GAA with a 900 save percentage. The forward line for LMU will see Connor Kilkenny and Jake Herzog on the wings. For center, Nick Mouthy with defense pair of Tommy Bennett and Gregory Bennett beginning things for LMU.
You mentioned that 900 save percentage, talking a lot about how that's a very solid save percentage when it comes to the ACHA. It's not going to be an easy game for ice hockey at UCSB to slip goals past this goaltender.
Gauchos, as mentioned, Logan Guerrero getting his first start for the Gauchos. Forward line of Barone between Owasiak and Arenberg with a defense pair of Valois and Vieira, and we are underway. As Mouthy will dump it in back behind Guerrero. He puts it on a tee, but will be picked up behind the net by Herzog. Herzog tries to curl in front. Puck bounces just away, and it'll be cleared by Arenberg. Arenberg takes the hit along the near side boards and sends this out as Tommy Bennett will refer to both Tommy and Gregory Bennett by their first names, much as if they were Sedines. This is Jake Herzog playing it along the boards for Gregory. Loses it back in the Gaucho end. With Valois, of course, back for UCSB. This one given away at the line. Long shot was going wide, gathered by Guerrero, and he'll drop it off for Valois in his 2nd game for UCSB. The Gauchos, in addition to getting Guerrero his first start for UCSB, also added another grad student to their side, Matt Lobiando, number 25, a defenseman out of Hudson Valley, New York. We'll see ice tonight for the Gauchos as it's given away in neutral ice. Barone will shoot it in, and the Gauchos go for a line change behind him. My mistake, that was Vieira on the shoot in. Slankovich over the boards on the forecheck. Vieira breaks up the pass, but it's played wide for Ryan Hirai. Hirai pirouettes with it at the near point. Cole Anderson tried to get it deep. Hirai back to the end wall. Owasiak digs it free, looking for Anchondo, leading goal scorer for the Gauchos. Slankovich on the stick of Anderson. His shot just wide.
Rolled up on him on the last second, unfortunate.
Gauchos dig in, come away with it. Slankovich swings it in front. Save made, and Stocker comes away covered. Boy, I don't think Slank realized he could have stuck that near post. Stocker looked like he had lost it.
It looked like he did as well. First golden opportunity of the game goes to the Gauchos. Once again, just a little bit of rotten luck there for Ryan Anderson, as at the last moment that pass gets through to him, but the puck just rolls right up on edge, and he sort of semi-fans on the puck as he goes for the shot, and it just trickles wide.
Lions control off the defensive zone draw. Justin Hertz will skate in. Behind the net, Kyle Penn. Tied up along the far side boards. Gauchos win the puck for a moment, but Hertz angles it back behind. The Lions re-rack in neutral ice. Cameron Andrade forechecking pressure from Slankovich. Pass momentarily broken up by Herlihy, but Hertz able to carry in. Tries to split the D, goes to the backhand. Nice left pad save made by Guerrero. Just slips off the stick of Herlihy. He'll retrieve in his own end. Couldn't link up with defender Mitch Kiner. Swing it wide. Schmitz had it hop off his stick. Andrade couldn't control. Kiner takes the hit, can't clear. Knocked down and held in along the near wall by Andrade. Tries to center. Broken up in front of the net by Schmitz. Pride of Minnesota sends it back behind the net. Thrown across the slot by Andrade. Activating Anderson. Lost the puck to Abdallah, I should say. Shot goes up into the mesh netting. And we have a defensive zone draw coming up for the Gauchos with 3:23 played in the opening period.
Those are the types of shifts that are really going to wear you out for ice hockey at UCSB. And really the biggest reason that one got penned into their zone was that they were just the second team to every loose puck on that one. Got to see a little bit more effort in order to get to those loose pucks, win those 50-50 battles.
Good defensive zone draw win by Barone, but will be held in at the point by Gregory. Greg has it again. Along the dasher, goes back behind. Owaziak takes the hit, swept around by Valois. Barone carries into the offensive zone. In the feet of Arenberg, and now taken away by Parker Thomas. Eric Anderson couldn't control it. Now Greg gives it up for Anderson, and he'll send it to the corner as LMU changing defense pairs behind. Arenberg. Gauchos chip and chase. Owaziak shrugs off the hit in the far corner, sends it to the high slot. Barone shot. Kick save made by Stocker. Barone intercepts the attempted clear to the line. Valois. Chipped into the corner by Lobiondo. Puck battle won by Nick Mouthy, the leading scorer. 13 goals, 17 helpers for LMU. Ridden off the puck by Valois. Greg holds the puck in. Mouthy tried to center it, rolled off the blade at Jake Herzog, and Guerrero decides to slow things down and will hold for the draw.
Bit of a rough shift there for Nick Arenberg as he takes two real big hits in open ice. Another thing we didn't really touch on all that much in the pregame show, this is a team that is not only deep in numbers, they are deep in size. Quite a few big bodies out there for this Loyola Marymount team.
So in the defensive zone draw, Austin Billings, who's had quite a stretch of play over the course of the last 6 wins for LMU, lost the draw. Gauchos into the offensive end. Slankovic with room. Slankovic tries to pass back post, and a penalty coming here as it's broken up in the slot by Billings.
And I think he's going to get the gate for hooking here. Just got a little bit of a stick on the hands into Cole Slankovic, who's given him a little bit of a mouthful at the very end here.
So a power play opportunity coming here for UCSB.
Must be old friends Austin Billings hailing from San Jose, which is where Slankovic also hails from. So could be some old friendships there.
They both played on the San Jose Junior Sharks U18 AA team last year.
That would explain that.
Gauchos win 1 for 17 the last 2 games on the power play. It's cleared, and look out, cook out. Justin Hertz is in all alone. Hertz to the backhand. Save made by Guerrero.
Oh, Guerrero comes up big. His first massive 10-bell save of the night, and it comes on the breakaway short-handed variety. That would have been an early dagger for UCSB to have to overcome. Great work from the UCSB goaltender.
Vieira drops off for Valois with Hertz on the forecheck. Stretch pass. Controlled and angled in by Vieira. 35 seconds gone, and the first man advantage of the game for the Gauchos as Arenberg applies the pressure. But Hertz is able to shoot at the length of the sheet. Fresh penalty killers over the boards for the Lions. 14 minutes to go here in the first period as the pass does not connect. And on the up pressure, Ryan Clem curls behind the net. Back to the point for Anderson. Clem lost the puck. Barone had it taken away by Mouthy. Mouthy. Nice stick check standing him up, Valois. Outstretched for Barone on the carry-in. Barone switching point for Vieira. Vieira, pass broken up by Mouthy, touched ahead to him. Owaziak knocks it free from him for Barone. The Gauchos will re-rack in their own end. Valois. Michael Adelson skating in his first game of the season for LMU. The tip of the forechecking spear here for the Lions. LMU 15-4-0-1 on the season coming into tonight's game. 10-2-0 in WCHC play. This 2-game set against the Gauchos, their final 2 conference games of the 2018-19 season. And the final seconds of the first Gaucho power play of the game have been killed off by LMU. Back to 5 aside as Herlihy stood up, held at the line for a moment by Anchondo, but ultimately shot back into the Gaucho end where Lobiondo And Chondo chips it along. Adelson shoots it behind Guerrero, who will set it up. The man known as Lobo. Giveaway on the cross shot. Save made with the blocker on Eric Anderson by Guerrero. Swept along the far wall by Adelson back behind the net. Anderson ushered it along for Gregg. Back for Anderson. Returns for Gregg. Through traffic. Deflected in the near slot, but it'll be taken away by Arenberg. Nick can't get it beyond Tommy at the red line. Gregg switches near side boards for Anderson. His pass knocked away, but Gregg recovers. Stood up at the blue line. Gauchos come away with the steal. Arenberg stood up by Anderson. Heavy work to carry in over the blue line. Now a chance walking out in front. Good stick made by Stocker to knock it away from Anderson as he tried to walk it in front. Billings now. Dropped it back for Thomas. Thomas, long shot in on Guerrero. He'll cradle and hold. 11:23 to go in a scoreless first period. And we remind you to get social with your Gauchos, like at facebook.com/icehockeyUCSB. Follow at UCSB Ice Hockey on Twitter and UCSB Ice Hockey on Instagram. Barone on the defensive zone draw against Billings. Barone wins it. Gauchos can't get it beyond Anderson. Abdallah able to sweep it by him. As Austin Boyle gave it up for Billings. Chip and chase for the Lions. Owaziak lost the puck. Played down low, just rolled off the stick of Jet Shibata. To the point. Traffic, it's deflected off the wrister by Boyle. And UCSB works it out. Shot in on Stocker, and he holds off the long wrister from Owaziak, and the Gauchos just able to flip the sheet and bring in fresh troops for the offensive zone draw.
And hopefully this puts a little bit of energy in those Gauchos' legs. They've looked a little bit heavy here in the early going, the first half of this period. One good opportunity for Anderson, but otherwise it seems like they've been getting penned into their own zone quite a bit, purely because the passing options aren't moving their feet.
Lions control in their own end. Good hold in. Step up at the line by Kiner. However, Jake Herzog looks to take it out the back door. Herlihy hits Mouthy. But Mouthy comes away with the steal. In the skates of the linesman, but on the second try, LMU able to shoot it in. Connor Kilkenny gives chase and comes away with it. Kilkenny back to the line. A wrist shot wide of the near post. Cleared and brought down with a glove by Andrade. Wide for Jackson Groshans. Groshans, shot save made Guerrero. Appetizing rebound goes back to the point. Slapper deflected back behind the net by Anchondo. Gauchos can't get the glass and out. High slot, plenty of traffic. Couldn't be wristed through by Groshans. And the Gauchos have iced the puck.
And the Gauchos are trying to sneak some changes, but they're not going to be allowed to because they were on the wrong side of the red line when they fired that one in. And much like the National Hockey League, you cannot change players on the hybrid icing call here. So the Gauchos going to be stuck with some long legs, I should say tired legs, out there on the ice for this face-off.
Well, in fairness, you got the 6'5" Ryan Schmitz out there for the Gauchos. Those are long legs.
His legs are pretty long.
From the line, deflected, score! Tommy's shot deflected by the man cutting through the slot, and the Lions have the lead.
And it's going to be Brian Clem's goal. Clem just cut right to the top of the slot. It's that very dangerous high tip play that a lot of coaches love to run, and it's executed straight up to perfection on that one. Not much you can do as a goaltender when the puck changes directions about roughly 20 feet in front of you. The Gauchos falling asleep just a little bit on that man-to-man coverage, but all it takes is just one little tip and they find themselves down.
13th goal of the season for Clem moves him into a tie with Mouthy, Kilkenny, and Billings for the team lead. The helper picked up by Bennett is his 8th of the season. For Clem, that's now 7 goals in the last 6 games that he's played for Loyola Marymount. Lions looking for more, delayed offside. Enables the Gauchos to get out with it. Slankovic spun off at the far wall by Penn, plays forward, looking for Hertz, too far. Vieira can't clear. Clem steps up. Pass to the slot. Just couldn't get a stick on it. Clem, though, tracks it down. Behind the net. Centering feed intercepted. Footing lost, but a good job by Arenberg to usher it through. Anderson, though, will come up with a steal on the back check. Ryan Anderson rides him into the end wall, but can't dispossess him as it's stretched forward for Brian Clem. Vieira forces the shoot in. Will be retrieved by Owaziak. Vieira and the Gauchos look to break out. Vieira again. One high forechecker for LMU is Jacob Benson. And now giveaway trying to go through the middle. The shot by Thomas hit his own man, went wide. Gathered by Anderson. Thrown in front. Comes back for a slapper that's cranked wide by Bennett.
Twice the Gauchos have survived the cardinal sin of passing through the middle in your own zone.
Anderson wires it around for Thomas. To the point, Anderson can't get it by the Gaucho near boards, and it's be rolled back into the LMU end where Tommy Bennett played forward, stubbed out where Herlihy will pick it up. Owaziak taken away on the back check, and Herlihy had it knocked down and regathered for LMU by Herzog. Barone chips it back for Vieira. 7 minutes to go in the first period. Goal at 10:36 by Brian Clem, the difference in the game for LMU. Vieira drop pass. That second set on the forecheck for LMU is just giving the Gauchos absolute fits moving through the neutral zone.
Boy, they are playing high and they are playing aggressive. What an incredible system for this Lions team.
Herlihy, blind backhander to the slot. Barone had it land on his stick. Now it bounces free and Herlihy scores! A bit of luck for the Gauchos. Herlihy all alone low slot, and we're tied 1-1.
We mentioned in the early game you have got to take advantage of the opportunities that this Loyola Marymount team is going to give you. The Gauchos could not ask for any more of a gift in front of the net than that one. Just a really weird fluke play that winds up with the puck bouncing out in front of Hayden Stalker. And great work by Herlihy to just waste no time, rip it about 14 inches off the ice, right up over the pad. Difficult puck to save, and the quick release makes the difference, and the Gauchos have got life back once again.
First goal of the season for Herlihy. We're going to give Barone an assist on that as well, his 4th helper of the season. And we're back to level pegging. Shot in by Abdallah off the high glass. Cleared around out the back door for Jet Shibata. Intercepted by Arenberg. Bounces back behind. And Chondo on the forecheck. Giveaway to Arenberg. It's cleared and it'll just get by. The sweeping stick of Kiner has to race back and turns the puck over to Shibata. Drops it. Shot off the outside of the net. Good look there for Austin Billings. And the Gauchos able to get it out up the near side wall. Rosans. Lobiano gave it away. Stubbed wrister by Billings back behind. Ryan Hirai off the outside of the cage on the sharp angle play. Back to the point. Rosans switch for a slapper, one-timer, score. Just like that, the Lions back in front. I do believe that's Austin Billings who cranks it home for LMU.
Kind of hard to see the numbers from here with that contrast. It looks like it is is that 18? Yeah, that's going to be 18, which you're correct, is Austin Billings. It's a one-time shot from just inside that right-hand circle, and it finds the 5-hole of Gaucho goaltender Logan Guerrero. One that he's probably going to want to have back, but once again, you get the goaltender moving laterally. It's going to open holes up there, so for the Gauchos, maybe getting a gift to get back into the game, but immediately giving it right back to the Lions.
Apologies on the helper. It's Cameron Andrade for LMU, who gets the assist on the goal by Billings. That is his 14th of the season. He now alone leads the Lions in that statistical category. This Jackson Grosshans gives up for Andrade. Stretch pass off the skate. Vieira sends it wide for Ryan Anderson. Valois for Vieira. They play catch with it. And the pass through the middle, given away. Backhander in front. Great save. Guerrero rebound, score.
That's 3 times now the Gauchos have given the puck away by firing it right up the middle of their own net, or in the middle of their own slot. And this one winds up behind them. Coach Scott Hires has just got to be fuming back behind the net. This is a very, very elementary mistake to be making for defensemen. You cannot make that pass when you are under pressure. And the 3rd time finally burns the Gauchos, and they're picking it out of their net.
Second goal of the game for Brian Clem, and it's 3-1 LMU with 4 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in the first period. Barone will backhand it in. Clem now with 14 goals, even with Billings for the team lead. Lions looking for more as Hertz streaks in, stood up in the slot by Schmitz. Works back around where Barone will pick up. Now Herlihy, the lone goal scorer for the Gauchos, switches it wide for Awasiak. Awasiak ridden to the far wall by Tommy. Gauchos come away with it though. Barone dangling on the backhand, can't get his shot through. Herlihy, Tommy pushes it off him, tries to kick it free. Barone pushes it to the boards, but Hertz gets to the line, not out on the second try. Hertz comes over the steal in the neutral zone, and he's got a step. Valois stands him up, forces the wrister over top the net. Chip back out in front, dangerous puck, but the Gauchos able to get it out. Bounced in to the Loyola errand. Tommy the long stretch pass. Swept into the Gaucho end by Kilkenny. UCSB looks to exit. Stretch pass off of a Lion stick. Anchondo will chase. Gregg had it taken away by Anchondo. Along the back wall, Ryan Anderson takes the hit, looks to move the puck along, does. Back for Herlihy through traffic, hit the defender in front. Anderson gathers the rebound. His shot hit the stick of the defender and bounces right to Kilkenny. Backhanded up and away by Bennett. Tommy. Big hit delivered in the Gaucho end.
Ryan Anderson.
But it's held in at the point by Cole Anderson. No relation. Cole from Upland, California. Ryan, of course, out of Bel Air, Texas. Ryan will track the puck down along the back boards. Taken away by the second man in, but Parker Thomas couldn't clear it. Bounced off the stick of Kiner. Mouthy stood up in the neutral zone. Now Thomas shoots in. 1:50 to go in the first period. LMU with 2 goals, 52 seconds apart. The difference in the game. Turnover created for a moment, but Herlihy will gather. Tries to angle it off the near wall. Jacob Benson plays catch with his defense partner.
Oh,
can't get the cleared. Uh-oh.
That looked ugly.
Knee-on-knee contact. Looks like it was certainly not intentional. And boy, this is Anton Kulinich, who immediately comes up upset. Kulinich, of course, who a lower body injury dating back to the game at Cal State Fullerton. And
he's up on his own power, which is good. But again, as you mentioned, it was an incidental contact. Two guys just going the opposite direction, running into the same spot on the ice at the same time. No malice in that one, but boy, that did not look good for Kulinich. Really, really heavy impact, and like you mentioned, knee on knee. Kulinich's knee being the primary point of impact there. Hopefully he's okay. He did get up under his own power, which is a positive sign, but he is not putting any weight on that right knee.
Herlihy and assistant coach John Owaziak helping him off the ice. Of course, Kulinich had been tried at a forward spot against CSUN by Coach Hires. UCSB.
So Gauchos
adjusting who comes over the boards.
Gauchos now forced to go without another forward. So that will kind of force Coach Scott Hires' hands and maybe have to play two guys on a double shift ever so often now.
Chipped up into the LMU bench as Grosshans and Owaziak clatter sticks. Coming up in the first intermission here on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network, brought to you by Warrior Sports. Take a look at one of the major non-conference tournaments going on, the Big Mountain Classic. Coming up in now 60 seconds of game time, remaining in the first period. Shot through traffic, deflected wide by the man in the low slot. Held in by Andrade. Pass is intercepted. Angled off the boards. Good chip and chase for Owaziak. Owaziak just overskated the puck. He had Arenberg alone at the near post. Stretch feed looking for Clem. Doesn't go far enough for icing. Gauchos can't clear. Justin Hertz tries to walk it in front. UCSB's taking a penalty as he tried to get to the front. And the man with the orange armbands there to immediately signal and send the Gauchos to their first penalty kill of the game, as it's Eric Valois sitting down for 2 or less.
And this one is because, once again, it's a Gaucho turnover. This one not in the middle of their own slot, but against the side boards in their own zone. Just a little bit of a no-look backhand pass to no one in particular. Gets taken away by LMU. And a quick dart right to the front of the net forces Valois to essentially have to take that penalty to try to slow the man down.
LMU controls, slapper from the line. That changed direction off the blade of Bennett. Good save by Guerrero.
We've seen that high tip play already score once this game. Looking for it again here on the power play.
Hirai trying to dig it free with Shibata. Shibata swept it along for Billings. Back to the point. Billings settles. 5 seconds. Guerrero sticks it to the far glass. And we've run out of racetrack in the opening period, with Loyola Marymount leading UCSB 3-1.
Well, I'm just going to be a little bit honest here with the way this first period has gone. The Gauchos are down 3-1 right now because they're not moving their legs in the defensive zone. I mean, you got to give the Loyola a lot of credit. They are an extremely talented team that does have a lot of speed. They have a ton of talent. That first goal, the high tip goal, was beautiful. But for ice hockey at UCSB, they're getting the puck back in their own zone. They're not moving their feet off the puck. There's no one moving to open up for a passing lane. The guy with the puck is essentially standing still, and it's just inviting the Loyola forecheck, which, granted, is not nearly as aggressive as we've seen in the past with the likes of like the Cal State Fullerton Titans. Remember how aggressive that forecheck was, 3 men going deep constantly.
Long Beach State as well.
Long Beach State also executing that almost flawlessly. The Gauchos really only having to deal with 1 man coming deep, but that 1 man is really doing enough to hold them back because no one off the puck is really moving. So I think that's going to be the message in the locker room here after this first period is Coach Scott Hires. He's got to find some way of essentially kind of lighting a fire under his team in order to get him going here for that second period.
3-1 after 1. When we return, we'll have the first period intermission brought to you by Warrior Sports on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. Teams making their way back to the ice sheet here at the Snyder Rink at Ice in Paradise here on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. Eric Evelhawk and Kyle Nicholas as we close out the Warrior Sports first period intermission report. Strike with speed with the Alpha QX from Warrior providing the means to dominate. And Kyle, in that first period of play, Loyola Marymount dominating on the shot count, a 15-5 advantage for LMU. The Gauchos fortunate at this point to find themselves down just by the 3-1 score, I would say.
I would say that's absolutely fair. Loyola Marymount controlling the long cover. They're getting pinned into their own zone, and it really just looks like it's coming down to effort. A lot of credit to this Loyola Marymount team for being as talented as they are, but for the Gauchos, we've seen better. We know they can be better. Just kind of need to see it here this evening if they want to get an opportunity to climb back in. I've been impressed with what we've seen in the offensive zone for the Gauchos. The Gauchos have found some passing lanes. They've gotten in on the forecheck. They've taken some pucks away. They've given the Lions a little bit of trouble in their own end. Problem is they're not down there very often, and when they are, well, they're not really backed up on the opposite end.
Real quick, we'll throw it down to the third member of our broadcast crew, Arthur Wilkie. Art, what's up?
We're with Michael Hurley here of the UCSB ice hockey team. So, Michael, in the first period, LMU made things really difficult for you guys in the neutral zone, but you were able to break through and get a goal. So what do you need to do to capitalize on all those chances that you guys are getting there when you do get them?
To be honest, we just need to get the puck over the red line, dump it in, chase, and hit. That's really all we need to do. Everything else will fall from that.
Physical game so far. Is matching their aggressiveness something that you guys talked about in the locker room?
Oh, yeah, big time. We really need to match their aggressiveness, and we need to hit them, and we just need to keep playing hard.
All right, best of luck.
Thanks, man.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Arthur, and thank you, Michael, for joining us here as we're now ready for the second period of play. Gauchos have 90 seconds of carryover penalty kill time after Eric Valois took what we're calling a hooking minor at the 19:30 mark to end the first period. Wozniak wins the draw, and Vieira will shoot it as far as the defensive blue line for LMU. Gregory to Tommy. The Bennett's on defense as now Jet Shibata with it as LMU looks to set up the offense. Good stick by Wozniak, breaking up the pass intended for Tommy. Bennett back into his own, and Wozniak rides into the boards and creates the turnover for Hurley. Hurley curls around, couldn't get his shot in on first-year goalie Hayden Stalker. And now into the zone. LMU drop for Shibata. Pass across, goes back to the point. Tommy gives it up for Hirai. Back for Tommy. Played to the corner. Billings back behind the net. Shibata. Wedged off from him by Hurley. Sent back to the point for Tommy. Switches for Greg. Greg, high shot. Tipped by Shibata just wide of the far post to Guerrero. 15 seconds remaining on the first LMU power play of the game. Shibata, far wall, looking for a seam. Gets it back from Greg. Shibata into the slot, intercepted by Wozniak, and the Gauchos clear and have killed the first LMU power play of the evening.
Good work from Captain Andrew Vieira on that penalty kill to dog the man in front of the net and stay with him.
Guerrero chips it along for Tyler Barone. Stood up at the blue line, and this will be shot off the glass for Hirai. And carried into the zone. Rister sent screaming wide by Kyle Penn. And Shondo wedged off the puck by Clem. And Clem just couldn't get it off the touch. Barone takes it away. And now Clem comes up with his steal. Barone with it once more for UCSB. For Vieira. Head up, Vieira. Connects for a moment. For thump down, Kiner. Bounced in front, tip play, a couple chances there for Wozniak, but shut down by Hayden Stalker.
Cole Slankovich looking up to the rafters as well. He had a second stab at that one coming across the net that he just couldn't find a way to put past Stalker. Good work from the Loyola Marymount goaltender to stick with that one, and from on his wallet to on his back, making a pretty good stop there.
My apologies, mistaking the 8 for 9. It's really tough when Wozniak does the back jersey tuck a la Ovechkin. Looks almost the same.
Can blame the number on the jersey too, not exactly the clearest.
Valois swings it far wall. Anderson holds in. Schmitz behind for Valois. Coach Hires juggling the defense pairs here. Arenberg gains center red and shoots it in near corner, while Wozniak will track it down. Drops for Arenberg. Arenberg tried to center it. Puck still sitting there. But LMU will regain control with Austin Boyle giving it up in the near corner. To the line, Arenberg held it in on the first try and sends it back for Anderson to retrieve. Arenberg continues to make a pest of himself on the forecheck as Valois holds the near point. Wozniak digs it deeper. Pair of Navy uniforms. As Wozniak tries to center it. Good stick to flip it. Enon Guerrero, he'll play for Valois. 4 minutes gone here in the second period. As Valois looks for an exit with Mouthy bearing on and in. Stretch pass intercepted by Anderson. He'll roll it back into the Gaucho end where Wozniak bounces it. Area feed off the boards, and here's a chance for Lobiondo. Lobiondo tried to center for Hurley. He has stepped behind him. Guerrero paddles away Parker Thomas's shot. Sent back to the blue line through Grosshans. To be touched in by Benson. And retrieved by Kiner. Abdallah can't get it out up the near wall. Line pass with a high slot. Lobiondo can't get it out. Benson backhands it to the near point as Herlihy takes the hit there from Grosshans, and I think Grosshans got the worst of that. Kiner, for checking pressure on him. Herlihy stretches it forward for Barone. Barone. And the Gauchos just a step offside as Vinny Abdallah a hair ahead.
Barone had to make one extra stick handle at the blue line to hang on to possession of that puck. And unfortunately, it threw the timing off just enough to the point where it drew Abdallah offside. But I have to say, I've liked the energy a lot more here to start this second period. The Gauchos seem to be moving. There is movement off the puck. Passing lanes are opening up, and the Gauchos are starting to open up the game a little bit more as a result.
Draw stalemated in neutral territory as Valois gathers it in his own end, ladles it along for Slankovich, but taken away by Penn. Penn ridden wide and taken away from him by Valois, that's Vieira. Slankovich gave it away. He carried in long wrister, Guerrero confidently out to swallow up Tommy Bennett's try from straight away.
And if you're Logan Guerrero, that's the type of shot you want to see all game for the rest of the game. No traffic, about 25 to 30 feet out. It's what they call the routine variety save. Of note, we have not yet seen Anton Kulinich yet this second period. We will let you know if we do. Kind of hard to see from the bench from our angle if he's down there, however.
Lions control off the offensive zone draw. Clem had it wedged away from him. Barone plays it along. Slankovich slings it out to center ice. Turned by Penn. Guerrero touches it up. Gave it away in the near corner, but he's able to skitter back to his crease as Clem gave it up in the corner. Hertz dances with it. Has it taken away by Barone, bottom of the far circle. giveaway, though. Penn shot, Guerrero save, rebound, score. Brian Clem, hat-trick goal, LMU up 4-1.
And for the Gauchos, it's just a hesitation to get rid of the puck and get it out of that danger area. They give it away down low in their own zone. Winds up darting right to the front of the net with a couple opportunities to slap it away. No one's able to get a stick on that puck until Brian Clem comes in and just one-times it up and over the glove of Logan Guerrero. It's another small defensive zone mistake, but it happens in front of the Gauchos net, and they're picking the puck out of their own goal as a result.
15th goal of the season for Clem. On the play, Penn picks up his 4th helper in Penn's first game since a game on November the 8th at USC. Gauchos control. Arenberg tried to center it. Feet taken out from under him as the Lions lead the charge out of their own end with 7 minutes gone here in the second period. Across the high slot, angled away. Arenberg can't get it beyond the forechecker, Shibata. Stick checked away from him by Valois. But able to get it for the curl around. Sent back to the point by Billings. Looking for the high tip, just a touch behind Eric Anderson. And now Arenberg angles it forward. Anderson will glide in, and because he pulled up, it enabled the defender for LMU to get back in and make it an icing.
Some tired legs out there for ice hockey at UCSB now after giving up the 4th goal of the game, needing something to maybe try to pull themselves back into this second period after what was a pretty strong start. Nothing to show for it, unfortunately, and now having to defend here.
Owaziak wide for Arenberg. Owaziak stretched wide for Anderson. Anderson, nice move, got the shut off, save made with a blocker by Stalker. Anderson shrugs off the hit behind his own cage. Shibata sweeps it along. Now it's a race, good stick. Anderson centers for the trailer, save made by Guerrero on Austin Billings, and the official will blow the play dead as it looked like there was a hook from behind on the late arriving Gaucho defender.
I saw an arm go up, but it kind of came up as the whistle was being blown, so not really sure what the call is here, but it would not surprise me if, as you said, it is a hook late on the Gauchos. Have not seen anyone make their way to the penalty bench, though, so could be mistaken here.
Well, the 2 minutes is up on the scoreboard for ice hockey at UCSB, and now the
still waiting on who's going.
Guilty party, Owaziak.
It's going to be Owaziak.
Will take the seat for the hook. Second power play of the game for Loyola Marymount. And this is a Lion team that is so good about controlling these shots, and you hate to give them the man advantage, and here they are as Andrade. All kinds of traffic in front of Guerrero. Good job clearing a lane, though, by Vieira as the wrister from the far face-off circle gathered in by the Gaucho goalie.
You mentioned you hate to give them the opportunity on the power play with how good they are controlling the puck, especially. Might seem a little odd to call this a critical juncture of the game here with still more than half the game to go, but you got to think for the Gauchos, this is a must-kill here.
Vieira chipped away from him to Herzog. Back to the point. Switch for Andrade. Andrade angles it near corner. Kilkenny touched for Mouthy. Kilkenny with it back to the point. Andrade sets up the one-timer, score! Power play goal for LMU. 5-1 Lions on a big blast by Grossans.
And what a rocket that was. Grossans allowed to walk in to essentially that left-hand face-off dot. Pretty much uncovered. Lions draw 4 Gauchos over to the opposite side of the ice, and it's just a quick rotation of the puck back to the point to the opposite side. One-time opportunity, and it goes right between the wickets of Logan Guerrero. It's the second time he's been beat 5-hole tonight. So for the Gauchos, not able to come up with that big kill at this critical juncture, and suddenly now find themselves with a 4-goal deficit here in the second period.
6th goal of the season for Grossans, is second on the power play as LMU's edge is up to 4 goals now, and they're looking for more. Stood up at the line. Schmitz will shoot it forward. helpers on that play will go to Andrade and Mouthy. Pitchforked into the far corner. Kiner touches for Arenberg. Owaziuk can't get it beyond Benson. Benson once again gets in the way of the attempted clear, but now Owaziuk. Stick checked away from him to Adelson. Ahead Anderson, just a step in front of him as Andrade re-racks in his own end. For Thomas, touched to the near wall. Schmitz delivers the body and drops it for Barone. Barone swings it along, and Chondo comes out in front. Big slapper by Benson off the outside of the cage far post. And Chondo heaves it off the high glass for Schmitz. Stretch and good job held in at the line far point. Walking in the wrister by Tommy Bennett. Cradled to the chest by Logan Guerrero.
And we're getting a look at why this Loyola Marymount team currently leads the WCHC. The execution has been flawless in the second period for the Lions. Their forecheck has been relentless. They have been hyper aggressive at the Gaucho blue line, forcing turnover after turnover. UCSB is just having fits getting the puck out over their own end.
9:45 to go here in the second period. We remind you that we'll be back in action tomorrow as the Gauchos are on the road against LMU. 5:45 pregame show at mixlr.com/icehockeyucsb as the Gauchos take on these same Lions down in Harbor City, just southeast of Torrance. LMU looking for more. Sweeping in off the near point. It's dropped for a wrister. Save made off the try by Penn. Barone poked away from him by Hertz. Centered, Valois intercepts. Will curl away from Clem. Clem dug it free for a moment, but Slankovich will skate away with it. Bounces it to the backboards. Bennett turns away from the hit from Slankovich. Valois for Barone. Pass just couldn't connect with Herlihy. Slankovich tries to swing it in front off of a couple navy blue blades as Slankovich across the top of the crease, taken away, and Barone prevents the clear. Good work by the Gauchos to hold it in as it's held in at the near point by Herlihy, but the Gauchos in the midst of a change, and LMU able to angle it forward. Penn stood up by Kiner. Lobiondo stopped behind the net by Stocker. Hard out off the high glass, and this one will go far enough for an icing with 7:55 to go here in the second period. LMU with both the goals here in the middle frame.
For the Gauchos, they got to take advantage of this icing faceoff in the offensive zone. Going to come to Michael Herlihy to try to win this faceoff, maybe get them a scoring chance with a point shot. Have not had a lot to write home about in terms of offense here in the second frame.
Gauchos control as Schmitz slams it back behind. Lobiondo back to the point. Kiner off the boot of the Lion and gloved forward. Lobiondo back. Kiner for Schmitz. Fakes the pass, and now we'll get it forward for Abdallah. Abdallah. Wrister easily steered aside by Stocker. Abdallah gets his own rebound. Rolled to the front. Intercepted by Shibata. Touched forward on the dive by Clem. And it's given away to Shibata. Neutral ice. He'll shoot it off the near boards. For Schmitz. Stands it up. Shibata touches. Got the return feed off his back heel from Hirai. And now Herlihy, the lone Gaucho goal scorer, gains center red and shoots in as the forwards will switch it up for ice hockey at UCSB. Owaziak looked to deliver the hit. Hirai stood up by Anderson for Arenberg. Arenberg. Cole Anderson making it difficult for him. Couldn't connect with Ryan on the play off the adapted players bench boards. Schmitz swings it wide for Anderson. Anderson can't split the defense. Rolls in on Stocker, who will touch it back behind. Owaziak can't get it deep. Now Ryan Hirai can't get beyond. It's Arenberg, angles for Anderson. Spin move, his backhander. Bounces to the corner. And the Lions look to break out. Shibata. Valois angles into the near boards. Turnover. Shirai shot blocked. Rebound sent screaming over top by Grossans. Arenberg chips it back behind where Shibata. He'll pick it up. 10 points over the 6-game winning streak for Shibata. His stretch feed, though, is too long. Icing wave with 5:05 to go here in the second period. Vieira for Valois. Gauchos having trouble getting it out up the far boards. Slankovic able to clear it beyond Grossans, but
got a penalty coming up here, and I believe this is going to be a Gaucho power play. A cross check, it looks like, and it is going to be
Shibata sitting down. So second power play of the evening coming up here for ice hockey at UCSB. 11 of their 23 goals this season. Check that, 12 of the 23, I should say, have been on the power play.
Gauchos have been good with the extra man this year. More or less dined out on it in the first half of the season. They're going to need an opportunity here in order to kind of maybe get back on their roll a little bit.
Good chance off the draw. Stocker stymies it. And UCSB will set up in the neutral zone. Valois. Barone. Back for Slankovic, couldn't connect. Slankovic. Valois. Slankovic. As mentioned, a 3-game assist streak for number 8. Barone gains the blue line. Switches for Valois. Plenty of traffic. Valois shot, save, rebound, swept just wide by Slankovic in front. And the Lions able to shoot at the length of the sheet. Good opportunity, though, for the Gauchos, as they've used the first half of their second man advantage of the evening.
Not a lot of urgency from the Gauchos to get this puck up the ice, it looks like.
Same forward still out there for UCSB as Valois hurls one French penalty killer over the boards for the Lions, and Vieira shoots it along. Stocker settles it behind the cage, but the forecheck for the Gauchos create a momentary turnover. Vieira for Slankovic. To the back wall, Barone for Slankovic. Slankovic for Barone. Shot. What a save by Stocker. Going left to right across the crease to Rob Barone.
Barone with the best opportunity of the second period here for the Gauchos. I think he's probably going to want that one back because I think he had more net to shoot at than he thought.
And LMU has killed the power play for UCSB. 2:45 to go here, second period, as Abdallah shovels it behind. Herlihy tries the return for Abdallah. Puck up in his paraphernalia. Official lost sight of it and blows the play dead. Coming up in the second period intermission, which will be brought to you by Southwest Airlines. We'll not only recap the scoring in the second period, we'll take a look The WCHC Whip Around, review the standings, take a look at some of the non-conference scores as well as the schedule for the weekend, and begin to take a peek at the playoff picture. All that coming up on the Southwest Airlines second intermission.
Feels like the season kind of just started. We're already also almost to playoffs, a little under a month away.
Greg will get it out, nice touch and turn. Here's Hertz. Great stick check by Guerrero to prevent him from sweeping across the top of his crease. Schmitz retrieves it from Kiner. Tried to angle it wide, Clem intercepts. Kiner pushed it around behind. Thrown through the middle and just out of the reach of Tommy Bennett. Greg for Tommy. Slap shot. Caught by Logan Guerrero.
I'd admit I'm quite impressed with what I've seen from Guerrero so far here this evening. We didn't know a whole lot about the newfound Gaucho backup netminder coming into the evening, but I think we're getting a pretty good crash course on him really quickly. Seems very confident, especially that poke check as well. That took a lot of confidence in order to just stick the stick out there and knock that away like he did. Very quick glove as well. I've been very impressed with what we've seen from the Gaucho netminder so far.
Loyola wins the offensive zone draw. Anderson back to the point. Slapper kicked wide by Guerrero. Shot through the slot. Near point though, Anderson. Curls back behind. Anderson, blind pass in front. Couldn't connect with Herzog. Nice stick check by Lobiondo. Able to angle up the near boards. Gets it out on the second try beyond Boyle. Arenberg. Bouncing puck. Backhander swept just wide of the near post. To the point. Valois' shot. Puck on edge. Gathered in with the glove by Stocker with 63 seconds to go in the second.
The Gauchos a little bit of some extra energy, some extra life here at the end of this period. If they can pot one here late, bring that goal deficit back down to 3 to go into the locker room. Talk about the mentality of a team going into the final frame. That's going to be much better than going this entire second period, going down by 4, not having anything to show for it.
And of course, as we know, in the ACHA, no lead is safe. Off the draw, Lobiondo had it slip off his stick in the low slot. Slick bit of stick handling there. But ultimately stood up and sent behind the net by Vieira. Now a penalty coming off the play as Valois is bumped into the Gaucho cage. It dislodges, and
Kilkenny, I believe, is who's going to get the gate here. Shoving Valois into the back of his own goal.
41.9 remaining in the second.
It is an interference call from the official. So big opportunity here at the tail end of this period. 41.9 seconds remaining. If nothing changes, the Gauchos will start the third period with a power play.
Barone for the offensive zone draw for UCSB. Wins it. Back for Awazia. Vieira waits for traffic. Angles for Barone. Save made Stocker. Rebound. Cleared out. Valois. Looked like he was trying to stretch for Barone. Slankovic touched it, but enabled Penn to come up with a steal. They get the clear into the Gaucho end. 15 seconds to go in the second. As Valois for Awazia. Chance for a last rush up the ice in the middle frame for the Gauchos. Awazia couldn't angle the pass in. Kyle Penn plays to the points. And so ends the second period as Loyola Marymount adds 2 to their ledger. And they lead it 5-1 with 40 minutes in the books.
I think that's going to be a much better outlook on the third period from Coach Scott Hires. I think he's going to be a lot more pleased with the effort in the second frame. The Gauchos, they've got a long way to go, though, however. Loyola also played a much better period, I would say, by their standards as well, here in this second frame, and we got a real good glimpse as to why they are currently the #1 team in the WCHC. There is a lot of work still to do for ice hockey at UCSB here this evening. They want to have an opportunity to claw this one back and maybe get some good feelings going into tomorrow's rematch down in the Los Angeles area.
When we return, it'll be the South. Second intermission here at Ice in Paradise in Goleta, sponsored by Southwest Airlines, the official airlines of the American Collegiate Hockey Association. Take a look now at the scoring summary for the second period. LMU with both of the goals in the middle frame at 6:33. Third goal of the game notched by Brian Clem, assisted by Kyle Penn. That would go on to become a 5-1 advantage at 8:38 as Chris Owaziuk in the box for hooking. Power play goal scored for LMU by Jackson Grosshans, assisted by Cameron Andrade and Nick Mouthy to make it 5-1, where we stand with 40 minutes gone here in Goleta. Shots in that second period. UCSB outshoots Loyola 8-11. The Gauchos now with 16 shots in the game. Loyola Marymount with 23, as credited by the official statistician here for our broadcast and the technical director, Jasmine Kellogg. Of course, big ups as well to our cameraman and normal producer and member of the 2017-18 PCHA Adams Cup side, Will Hahn, running things at center ice. We're going to stay right here on the Southwest Airlines second intermission report, Kyle, and get you with the WCHC whip around. And this, of course, a big game and a big series for both of these teams. LMU, as mentioned, 10-2-0 in conference play, currently tops, and this is one of two games remaining for the Lions. They have a maximum of 24 points, and they're probably going to need to get results against the Gauchos for both if they want to have an opportunity to hold on to the top slot. as CSUN currently in second at 8-1-0, 16 points. They've got 4 games remaining, but they do hold the tiebreaker over LMU by virtue of victories 5-0 at the Isoplex in Simi Valley and then 7-0 in Bay City, where Kyle and I will be tomorrow. The Gauchos currently in 5th place in the conference with 6 games remaining, a maximum of 20 points available for the Gauchos. They're really, though, just hoping to stay ahead of 6th place UC San Diego so they don't fall into that 3-6 playoff matchup on the opening day when the postseason begins play on the weekend of February the 8th.
And the Gauchos would need to lose out. They would not be able to get even another point, or excuse me, they would not be able to win one more game. If they win one more game, they would be guaranteed at least the tiebreaker against the Tritons. And because they won the previous meeting between these two, you would have to think that the Gauchos would have the tiebreaker between the two, especially considering also that the head-to-head, which I believe comes to goals between the two teams after that. The Gauchos won that game, I believe, by a final score of 9-2.
7-2, the final down at the Kroc Center.
So that was a big win for the Gauchos. Not to mention, I don't see UCSB going the remainder of the season without tallying at least one more win. So for the Gauchos, they've got an opportunity. They do have one game remaining against 2 of the teams that are below them. They do play the Tritons one more time on the final day of the season on February 3rd. And they do also have a meeting with the Chapman Panthers coming up before that as well. So those are 2 games that are very winnable for ice hockey at UCSB. They pretty much can solidify their spot in the 5th place, and that would give them a little bit more of a more favorable matchup going into that playoff round. But you got to admit, that Cal State Fullerton team, the first time we saw them, boy, did they give the Gauchos a real tough game. They play very disciplined. They play very well. It might be the better matchup than the 3-6, where you're going to wind up running into most likely Long Beach State, if we're being real. But, I mean, considering that the way both of those games have gone, those are both real tall tasks for this Gauchos team.
And, of course, Cal State Fullerton will come calling here at Ice in Paradise against the Gauchos next weekend. January 25th. That is the Friday game. It's the second of 3 games to be played. Of course, Thursday, the Gauchos. Next Thursday, the 24th, will be taking on Santa Rosa Junior College at 10:30 before taking on Fullerton and then Chapman on Saturday, the 26th. Both of those puck drops at 9:45. Should mention that the 2019 WCHC postseason will be held at the East-West Ice Palace in Artesia, hosted by Cal State Fullerton. It's a single elimination tournament. The Gauchos currently standing in the number 5 slot to open against Cal State Fullerton. That would be the 10 p.m. game on the 8th of February. Let's take a look at some of the non-conference games in WCHC play. Yesterday, CSUN getting a win at Utah Valley State. The Matadors a 3-1 win over the Wolverines. Hoover with the game-winning goal. Gears 3 helpers, Abaya a goal and an assist as Seppi made 17 saves for the Matadors. Today in non-conference action, number 17 Weber State defeated Long Beach State 6-3, and number 7 CSUN at number 13 BYU. It's a big win for the Cougars in that one as CSUN defeated 7-4. Other games in conference play this weekend. This is the first of 3 games. Cal State Fullerton playing Chapman concurrently this evening. And, of course, the Gauchos taking on LMU tomorrow. 5:50 puck drop from the Skating Edge Ice Arena in Harbor City, California. That's just southeast of Torrance. Kyle and I will have the Ice in Paradise pregame show beginning at 5:45 p.m. on the audio-only broadcast home for your Gauchos, mixlr.com/icehockeyUCSB.
Just going back and thinking about it, 7-4 in favor of BYU over CSUN. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's CSUN's biggest loss of this season so far. They've played some teams that were ranked quite high, including, I believe, University of Mary earlier this season, the number 1 team in the West, and I believe that was a 1-goal or a 2-goal difference for the Matadors. So Not quite the result CSUN wanted out in this tournament out in Colorado. I wonder if the altitude's getting to the Matadors out there.
Well, CSUN, of course, not taking part in the Rocky Mountain State tournament, the Big Mountain Classic, BYU, of course, in Provo, Utah. And it's understandable. BYU was part of the Beehive State tournament that was played earlier this season. That's just a tough one for CSUN after they gained 2 spots in the rankings after coming away with the win over the Gauchos last week, now losing against a team below them in the rankings. So we continue on here on the Southwest Airlines second intermission report. Reminder that qualifiers for the 2019 ACHA National Tournament can take advantage of discounted rates from the world's largest low-cost carrier when booking before Sunday, March 3rd. It's good for travel between March the 17th through April the 4th. Low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency with Southwest Airlines. Visit achahockey.org for more information.
Book your tickets now. It's going to be a great tournament at a beautiful facility located in Frisco, Texas, in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Seen pictures of the place, and I'm telling you, it is the official practice home of the Dallas Stars, and I'm telling you, it is gorgeous. It is a very fine facility they have out there. It's going to be a great tournament. You're going to see a lot of talent. If you want to get out there and watch some of the best college hockey out on the West Coast, tournament's going to be taking place over roughly about a week and a half in that area. All 3 divisions are going to be going through there. You're going to see some great hockey over that stretch out in the Dallas area.
And, of course, you can keep up with all of the action for that one by visiting the official website of the American Collegiate Hockey Association at achahockey.org. The Gauchos back on the ice sheet to get ready to begin the 3rd period of play as we get close to putting the wraps here on the Southwest Airlines second intermission report. The Gauchos will have a minute 19 of power play time remaining on their 3rd man advantage of the evening. The Gauchos 1 for 19 over the course of their now last 2 2/3 contests. But before we begin the 3rd, we bring in the 3rd member of our broadcast crew, KCSB's own sports director, Arthur Wilkie.
Well, hey guys, Austin Billings was responsible for LMU's first penalty of the night, and he comes in, sits down. I tell him, well, hey, I'll get the door for you on your way out, don't worry. And then he's like, all right, thank you, appreciate it. And then he asks me a question. He says, how's your day going? Is it going well? And I say, of course, we're in sunny Santa Barbara. How could it not be going well? And then I didn't get a chance to ask him the question because he had just taken a penalty, but I'm sure I know the answer now as his goal stands as the go-ahead goal right now, and LMU is up 5-1. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Arthur. Certainly
some pleasantries in the penalty box. Not often you hear that coming through.
I imagine it's a whole lot easier to be pleasant with the Gaucho student in the suit and tie rather than the home white, blue, and yellow for the Gauchos. And as Arthur mentioned, that goal currently stands as the decisive tally in the game. Billings came into the contest tied for the team lead with 2 game-winning goals. That would give him the team lead in that category if it ends up standing up here tonight. But as mentioned, 79 seconds of power play time to begin the 3rd period for ice hockey at UCSB. Thank you for listening to the Southwest Airlines second intermission report. And of course, be sure you're visiting UCSBhockey.com, your home for Gaucho sports on the web. Barone ready to take the draw for the Gauchos to begin the 3rd period of play against Kyle Penn. He wins it. And UCSB with fresh ice to work with. Slinkovich back for Valois. Hertz, the lone forechecker forward for the Lions. Barone has to play it back for Valois as he and Herlihy were not on the same page last entry. Now be carried in by Slinkovich. Back to the point, Vieira. Bounces it back behind for Herlihy, the lone Gaucho goal scorer of the evening. His first of the season came to tie it 1-1. LMU's had the last 4 in the game, and they get the clear here. 30 seconds remaining on the power play for the Gauchos as it's turned over behind the net by Valois. LMU loving before checking pressure from Hertz there. And Andrade plays forward from Mouthy. Couldn't get it by Slankovic as he stood up at neutral ice. And Loyola has shut the door on the third power play of the evening for the Gauchos. Herlihy hit into the far wall. Anderson angles around, held it at the point, slap shot off of Barone in the slot. Touched. Anderson to Arenberg. Arenberg lost the puck. Big hit delivered by Owaziak. Schmitz tried to backhand to keep it in. Kiner now comes forward for the Gauchos. Anderson intercepts. Glove down and angled in by Owaziak. And off the play, the linesman has blown it dead as Kiner had collided with a Lion off the play, and with the re-entry was in an offside position.
Kind of
And
trying
now,
to get out of the zone there, and it looks like we are going to have a penalty here. It's like it's going to be, I think, a hooking call.
Cole Anderson sits down for the hook. So another power play for the Gauchos.
A little surprised there, as it looked like it was kind of a mutual, one guy hooking the other guy kind of grabbing the stick, not letting go. So maybe a little bit of a break there for the Gauchos.
Owaziak stalemated on the draw, but Billings able to angle it out. Arenberg chips and chases. Anderson, staple gun Greg to the end boards. Schmitz holds the point. Arenberg curling with it. Between the circles, his shot wide, back behind. Owaziak curls around with it. Stocker had lost his post for a mere moment there. Greg able to shove it along. Schmitz for Anderson. Arenberg. Arenberg walks it out in front, couldn't connect with Anderson. Greg Bennett hits the official in the back.
Oh,
Ouch.
that looked like it hurt.
Right between the scapulas. For the Lions, length of the sheet as half the power play is gone. Schmitz for Owaziak as the Gauchos were able to get a couple fresh forwards over the boards. Shibata forces Valois to go gather from Guerrero. Tries to go through the middle, intercepted, but a good job to clear it back out by the Gauchos on the back check. Still slapped back in behind. And UCSB has to go the whole 200 plus. Valois for Vieira. Barone knocked off the puck, and Penn plays it forward. Valois for checker is Clem. Has the hat trick tonight for Loyola Marymount. Valois can't get it beyond Clem. Clem with a breakaway. Clem scores just as the penalty ends. Fourth goal of the game, 6-1 Lions.
Once again, ice hockey at UCSB guilty of standing around on the power play. Valois being forced to try to carry the puck out of his own zone with no passing lanes and nowhere really to skate. He's forced to try to challenge Clem one-on-one, and Clem just gets the stick in, knocks the puck away, and just does what he does. Buries it up over the glove of the Gaucho goaltender. Nothing that Guerrero can do on that one. And for the Gauchos, maybe kind of a little bit of the epitome of their power play tonight. No movement winds up costing them. No opportunities. And, of course, picking the puck out of their own net. Now the lead 5 for the Lions.
Goal scored at 4:04. Rather appropriate. Outlet not found on the play.
I understood that joke.
UCSB looking to work from their own end. Benson couldn't keep it in. Adelson gave up for Grossans. He's got a power play goal for LMU. Dips and dangles behind. Gauchos try to go through the middle to get it out. Held in at the line by Anderson.
Not quite.
Official on the blue line near side. Better vantage point than Kyle and I. Calls it offside with 15:05 to go in the third.
I think the Loyola Marymount
looking for a place to go with it. Plays back to the point. Richter through traffic. Bounces off the back wall. Touched back by Billings. Shot. Gathered by Guerrero's glove.
13:48 here to go, and it kind of feels as though UCSB may be looking, at least with their body language, seeming like they're a little bit defeated in this one already. But again, all it takes is one opportunity to capitalize on it. It can kind of change the way the momentum of the game has gone. Eric, I don't know how many times we've said this on the broadcast. There's no such thing as a safe lead in the ACHA.
This Gaucho team does have some great comebacks here on the Snyder Rink in their 4-year history here, the Ice in Paradise era. Think of coming back from 2 goals down their very first years. You've got a stoppage in play here. Puck looked like it hit off the netting along the near boards. The semifinal of the NCHA postseason against rival Cal-Lu. Of course, Cal-Lu, one of the teams who fell to this Loyola Marymount side in the 6-game win streak the Lions brought into tonight. Stood up at the line and now Anderson. Angles it in for the Gauchos. Anderson for Greg. Stocker sweeps it back to him. Stretch feed. Stopped up. And the pass just out of the reach of Arenberg. Tommy can't connect with Penn. Arenberg couldn't get it through to Anderson. Penn giving chase, sweeps it in on Guerrero, and he will slow things down.
Good hustle from Kiner to recover, get back, and break up that scoring opportunity. And I will say this, I've really noticed the pace of play that this line has played with for the Gauchos, specifically the line of Arenberg and Ryan Anderson for the Gauchos. They really have generated the majority of what seems like the offensive zone possession chances for the Gauchos, purely because they've got their feet moving and they're really getting in on the forecheck, and the opportunity is there. I'd like to see the rest of the lineup follow suit.
Hard around and out off the near boards, and it is an icing. Reminder, this is the first of a home-and-home between these two teams. The Gauchos will be at LMU tomorrow, 5:45 Ice in Paradise pregame show at mixlr.com/IceHockeyUCSB. Hope you can join us for that. To draw one back for Bennett. Slap shot wide, rebound, great recovery, save by Guerrero.
Impressive save on that one, going for the old bank off the end boards play. Not very lively boards here at Ice in Paradise, so boy, you got to think that shot had a lot on it.
Slapped back in behind by Tommy. Guerrero tees it up there for the turn for Anchondo. Anchondo had it taken away, turned back behind. Valois gets help from Barone, then eats the shoulder of Adelson. Slinkovich. And now behind the play, Valois exchanging pleasantries. That'll likely earn him 2 minutes to think about it.
Valois not happy with receiving a face wash at the end of the play there, and maybe a little bit of frustration and retaliation from the Gaucho defenseman, and unfortunately it looks as though he might be the only one going here. Oh, never mind, we got 2 going. Parker Thomas also going to be taking a seat. Probably a few more of those pleasantries going to be being exchanged over the head of our inside the glass man, Arthur Wilkie. Maybe not so family friendly with the language this time, however.
What, so you mean you don't think he's going to be talking with Parker about how great it is up here in Goleta?
I mean, to be fair, he wouldn't be lying.
It will be a Lions power play as Valois does take a double minor.
To be fair, I think that's the correct call as well. Valois definitely threw a couple, shall I say, face wash / punches with the glove on. in retaliation. So to be fair, I think that's the right call. And really for the Lions, an opportunity to kind of salt this one away and kind of make it sting a little bit more.
So it'll be Maxwell Gordon, who sits to join Valois and serve the extra 2 minutes on the play. Gordon appearing in his now 4th game this season for the Gauchos. Of course, getting the power play goal to close out the last Gaucho win, the 7-2 decision at UCSD. Power play number 3 for LMU on the night, Cameron Andrade. Nice job by Herlihy to get it as far as the line. Andrade wedged off the puck and shot in for Stocker to settle. Of course, all the talk here in Southern California about the Anaheim Ducks ending a 32-day winless stretch. 0-8-4 on that. The Gauchos are 0-2. Their winless stretch, 49 days coming into tonight. Guerrero with a nice glove through traffic on the slapper teed up by Grossans, and he gathers to hold.
Again, the lateral movement from Loyola Marymount really giving the Gauchos trouble on this power play. Just goes to show with the unbelievable skill that they have with the ability to move that puck from side to side so quickly. You get a goaltender moving laterally, it's going to open up holes. And great save from Guerrero to make sure he was in the right spot and had that glove and the perfect opportunity to snag that out of the air.
Gauchos win the defensive zone draw. Settled down by Anderson. Takes the return feed. And Cole to the slot. Maldi just steers it wide. Vieira shovels it along and out the back door. Eric Anderson for Greg Bennett. Takes the return feed. Anderson across the slot. Shot. Save made Guerrero. Rebound is there. Great job on the defense with Vieira dropping to all fours to block the shot. Lions still lurk. 20 seconds remaining in the power play. Gauchos able to get it out. Cole Anderson for Greg Bennett. Eric Anderson. Drops it off. Puck knocked off the stick of Mouthy. And the Gauchos have killed the power play for LMU. Shot deflects off the try by Arenberg. Eric Anderson. High hanging lob. And the official
got a hand pass call.
As the hand pass indicated. 9:34 go here in the 3rd period. Well, one of the sources of skaters for ice hockey at UCSB the last several seasons has been the Santa Barbara Royals side of the LA Kings High School Hockey League, as Guerrero makes the save off the draw. Of course, Chris Owalczyk, part of that program. This LMU side has a couple players who are graduates of the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League.
The older of the two leagues and by far the bigger one as well. Well over 50 teams in that league on multiple levels.
Barone, pass across, one-timer, off the crossbar. Stocker flops to make a snow angel, and the puck sticks to him.
Gauchos looking up at the ceiling. They can't believe that they did not pull one back there. I don't think you could have come any closer for ice hockey at UCSB as well. That puck going off the crossbar, getting back and hitting Stocker in the back, and he does just enough to make sure that he dives on top of it, make sure he keeps that one out.
Gauchos control the draw. Slapper doesn't get through traffic. He touched up and out. Adelson now. Shot wide back behind. Activation by Grossans. Guerrero touches it wide, turned around to the near boards. And now Slankovic. Pass a bit behind Barone. Turned away from him by Herzog. Now this one will roll in by Guerrero. The reason I bring up the number of players from the Anaheim High School Hockey League is that 3 of these Lions played for the Santa Margarita Catholic Eagles. Of course, won the league last season, as well as the California State Championship. Shot from the point goes wide. Also have a player who played for Orange Lutheran's JV side as LMU. Great grassroots growth from both of the Southern California NHL sides.
It's only going to get even bigger with the opening of the Great Park Ice in Irvine here within a few months.
Vieira through the neutral zone. For Herlihy, great chance. Feet taken out from under him on the play by Grosshans. And he draws the 5th power play opportunity of the evening for the Gauchos. Good job by Vieira battling through the neutral zone to set up Herlihy, looking for his 2nd on the night for UCSB.
And it just goes to show the hockey IQ that the Gaucho captain has, looking up and realizing that he had drawn so much attention from the defense for Loyola, and realizing that Herlihy had snuck into just this little bit of open ice, and it just took a cheeky little pass to slip it right into him, and turns into one of the better scoring chances we've seen from the Gauchos tonight. And Herlihy's going to be hanging his head that he doesn't have his 2nd of the season.
Held in by Valois for a moment, but played out. Valois will regather. Arenberg sticked away from him by Clem. And now the steal by Justin Hertz. Has it behind the net. Valois separates him from the puck. And a big hit delivered on the play by Tommy Bennett. Tommy tries to turn it out. Vieira knocked it down.
Aggressive penalty killing here from the Lions, pressuring way up the ice.
Owaziak, the former Santa Barbara Royal. And it turned away from him by Clem. Graduate of the Anaheim Junior Ducks program is Clem. Now Greg Bennett, one of those Santa Margarita Catholic Eagle trio, shoots at the length of the sheet. 30 seconds remaining in the 5th Gaucho power play of the evening, with under 6 minutes to go now in the 3rd period. And UCSB has struggled to gain and hold the offensive zone. Now Barone, back for Valois. Slapper attempted by Kiner, went through him. Valois with Hirai on the forecheck. Return feed a touch behind him. Now Austin Billings tried to throw it in front. Hirai to the front for Billings, jams once. Save made Guerrero. 2nd try off the outside of the cage. Cole Anderson just out of the reach of Ryan Hirai. Shibata was all alone, unmarked at the bottom of the near circle, but the pass a touch behind him. Gauchos into the O zone. Slankovic for Barone. Stick checked away by Anderson. Slank, though, stops it up on the far boards. Barone. Slankovic. Touch for Barone. Barone. Trio of Lions on him, but he escapes for Slankovic. Hesitating. Dangles. Drops it off behind the net. Barone. Puck rattling around. Hops the stick of Slankovic as it was stubbed free by Herlihy. Sent back behind by Schmitz. Blind backhander into the low slot. Just missed Barone, taken away by Billings. Billings, drop pass for Hirai. Billings hesitates and has the puck taken away on the 2nd white shirt in. Barone ranging wide. Has Herlihy with him, but 3 defenders back for LMU. Now Herlihy able to walk it in front, shut down by Stocker with 4:03 to go in the third.
And Herlihy just ran out of racetrack in front of the LMU goaltender. Didn't have enough opportunity to try to draw that puck back. You could see he was trying to maybe get one stick handle in just to change the shooting angle, but Stocker right out on top of that goal crease gave him nowhere to go with that one, and unfortunately Herlihy just forced to basically throw it right into the leg pads for a relatively routine save.
Shot out as far as Valois in the neutral zone. Gauchos able to get it back in, but Groshans for Andrade. Groshans. The lone power play marker of the evening. Eric Anderson wedged off the puck. But Kilkenny behind the net. Here's Mouthy. Mouthy. Back to the point. Andrade switches wide. Shot Guerrero, the save. Rebound sitting there. Valois ties up Kilkenny. Dug free and played wide. Abdallah just couldn't come up with it. 3 minutes to go in the third as Mouthy. High wrister off the blocker and cradled by Guerrero. Mouthy does have an assist tonight, 31 points on the season. If he can finish the top scorer for LMU in his freshman campaign, he'll become the first player since this program was reinstituted in 2006 by the man behind the bench tonight, Tyler Geckner-Zeller. He'll be the first Frosch to lead the Lions in scoring.
He doesn't
in this second berth.
If he doesn't do it, there's a good chance one of his other freshman teammates will. There's a lot of talent with these young players here on LMU.
Gauchos try to get it out at the far wall. Now an opportunity for Anderson. Chips. Touched in. Anderson. Works with it. Has a man in front. Settled shot. Iwasiak couldn't pick the near corner. Arenberg wedging Greg Bennett to the boards. Iwasiak in to help. Greg able to shake free and sends it ahead for Parker Thomas. Stood up by Kiner. And Iwasiak drags it ahead. Anderson ridden into the far wall by Tommy. Greg had it touched away by Iwasiak. Fights through it for Adelson. Lost the puck. Anderson with the steal. Greg drops the shoulder to drop Anderson on the forecheck. And finally sent out by Thomas. Kiner. Stretch for Anderson. Lost it in his skates. Schmitz tries to move it along. As Penn. Pass. Touch behind his man. Bottom of the far face-off circle. Clem gives it up, looking for the return feed in the low slot. Curled around and shoveled back behind. Puck comes out in front. Clem shot. Guerrero punches it wide with a blocker with under a minute to go in the third. Backside pass, looking to the near post, just away from Hertz. Cole Anderson along the back wall. Lions continue to press here as it'll be angled out. And Iwasiak sweeps it to the near boards and Chondo. Stocker sets it up. And LMU can melt out the final 20 seconds from their 11th victory in conference play. Stretch fast, just out of the reach of its intended target. Puck pinned in the far corner. And the Gauchos pinned with their third consecutive loss in conference play tonight by the Loyola Marymount Lions, a 6-1 victory for the visitors. From Harbor City, ice hockey at UCSB falls to 5-4 and 0 overall on the 2018-19 season. They are now 4-4 in conference play. Loyola Marymount with the victory. Now one game remaining in conference play, and they are in position to secure themselves a first round bye guaranteed if they can get by the Gauchos tomorrow night.
So for the Gauchos, this rough stretch to start the 2019 half of their season just really is kind of continuing at this point. Got a good look at why Loyola continues to lead the WCHC. They are the real deal. You can see why they've earned some of the successful results that they have. The Gauchos got an opportunity to answer tomorrow, but I feel like if you're Coach Scott Hires and the guys dressed in white, wish you kind of would have made a little bit more headway with the way that this one played out this evening, because it's going to be a real tall test when these two teams meet down in Los Angeles tomorrow.
So Kyle, if you're the Gauchos, what do you take from the game tonight, knowing that there's not a lot of time to stew on the result here, as a losing streak hits 3 for ice hockey at UCSB? They've all been against teams above them in the West Coast Hockey Conference table. How do you handle this too-high forecheck that we saw from LMU, and how do you create opportunities against a Lions side that, as we knew coming into tonight, was getting a hair over 60% of the shots for in their conference contests?
Well, they're going to have to move their feet a lot more tomorrow, that's for sure, especially on the power play. Ice hockey at UCSB seemed as though they were very sluggish off the puck. Not a whole lot of puck movement, not a lot of guys skating, getting open, opening lanes for UCSB to move the puck to each other back and forth. So without that passing, really you don't have an awful lot of speed, and that's how Loyola was able to use 1 and 2 skaters in order to really just pen the Gauchos into their end. Kind of you can see the way the game went for the Gauchos, getting 1 off of essentially a gift in the offensive zone. Otherwise, ice hockey at UCSB, power play or at even strength, not a whole lot to show for it this evening.
Ice hockey at UCSB falls 6-1 here. This is the Ice in Paradise post-game show. Ice in Paradise, the place to skate in Goleta. Visit iceinparadise.org for more information. And students, make sure you bring your student ID here to the rink on Saturday nights and take advantage of student nights, where with your school ID, skate rental and 2 hours of skating from 10 p.m. to midnight with a live DJ here at the Snyder Rink in this gorgeous Goleta facility. Final shots on goal totals for the game. Loyola Marymount doubles up the Gauchos 40-20 in the contest. Logan Guerrero making 34 saves in a bit of a baptism by fire, his first contest at the ACHA Division II level here for ice hockey at UCSB against the top team in the WCHC. And for being all of 5'6", the fact that he faced an LMU side where the vast majority of their players are 6 feet or taller, he did a great job of finding the puck through the trees a lot of times tonight.
I was impressed with what we saw from Logan Guerrero this evening. I thought, as you mentioned, a baptism by fire. That was very much a sink or swim debut for the Gaucho backup goaltender, giving Lennon Karma a night off here this evening. And I thought he filled in rather well. I liked what we saw specifically from his glove hand. He seemed very confident there. Also able to get up and really take away that landscape up at the top of the net as well. He is not the biggest goalie in stature, standing at only 5'6", the Davis native, but nonetheless still able to play well up high, stayed on his feet as long as he possibly could, played his angles well, had good positioning. I was impressed with what we saw. I think the Gauchos got themselves a very capable backup netminder to go behind Lennon Karma this year.
Take a look at the scoring summary for the contest. LMU took the lead at the 10:36 mark of the first period on the first of 4 goals in the game by Brian Clem. That assisted by Tommy Bennett. The Gauchos would respond at 15:28 on the first goal of the season by Michael Herlihy. Tyler Barone generating the assist on a bit of a broken play, but good on Hurley to finish that. The good feelings, well, they wouldn't last for long as LMU would score less than a minute later on a goal by Austin Billings, assisted on the play by Cameron Andrade. Third goal of the first period for LMU coming off the stick of Brian Clem, unassisted. It was 3-1 LMU after one. Lions get both of the goals in the second period. Third goal of the game unassisted by Clem at the 6:33 mark. Power play goal put up by Jackson Grosshans at 8:38. Helpers on that by Andrade and Mouthy. Mouthy, 31 points, leading all Lions scorers. And then the lone goal in the third period, the fourth off the stick of Clem, that one unassisted as well, and gives us our 6-1 final score here. Kyle Nicholas, your final thoughts as we close things down here on the Ice in Paradise postgame show.
Well, unfortunately, this long losing streak, you mentioned the one the Anaheim Ducks just got off. Unfortunately for the Gauchos, it's going to keep going for at least one more day. They'll have an opportunity to bounce back tomorrow. But I think if your coach Scott Hires, the message is going to be it's going to have to be a lot better tomorrow, because it's only going to get tougher when you're going out on the road. They're probably not going to have Eric Valois tomorrow, and we know what kind of a difference he makes on the back end. Lennon Karma will probably get the start tomorrow, but then again, goaltending really hasn't ever been an issue for the Gauchos. It's been the offense, and really just another example of when the Gauchos don't get things going their way, the offense dries up really quickly. I think to this point, in all of the losing efforts we've seen from the Gauchos, the most they've managed to score is 3, and that came with 3 power play goals against Long Beach State. Since then, when the Gauchos have lost, they've been held to 1 or 2 goals in all the rest of those games as well. So offense been drying up for ice hockey at UCSB. They've got to find a way to get some pucks back behind opposition netminders, see a few hit the twine, get their confidence back up. Mentioned in the pregame that they need to capitalize on the opportunities they were given. Really, they only capitalized on 1 tonight, and it wound up being basically a gift to Michael Hurley. So good on him for bearing that. They've got to be better tomorrow night.
And that game will come to you from Harbor City and the Skating Edge Ice Arena. Audio-only broadcast at mixlr.com/icehockeyUCSB beginning at 5:45 p.m. We hope you can join us, and we remind you that the best way to keep up with your Gauchos is by visiting UCSBHockey.com or getting social by liking the Ice Hockey at UCSB program's Facebook page, facebook.com/icehockeyUCSB, following at UCSB Ice Hockey on Twitter and at UCSB Ice Hockey on Instagram. That's going to do it for us here from Ice in Paradise, the Snyder Rink, and home of UCSB. Gauchos fall 6-1 against the WCHC leading Loyola Marymount Lions. For my color commentator, Kyle Nicholas, for our third man on the broadcast, KCSB Sports Zone, Arthur Wilkie. Remember, you can join Arthur and crew Thursday nights as they bring you not only live play-by-play, but a live call-in show on KCSB. Visit kcsb.org for more information on that one, or follow at Arthur Wilkie on Twitter to find out how you can hear and participate in that one. Big thank you to Will Hahn, our producer, and tonight our cameraman in the middle of the rink, showing his professional hands, twisting the tripod back and forth for tonight's contest. And as always, big thanks to Technical Director Jasmine Kellogg, running the stream and picking up the stats this evening. For the entire crew here on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network, my name is Eric Ebelhawk. 6-1 the final. Gauchos back at it tomorrow, 5:45 p.m. at mixlr.com/icehockeyUCSB. The Gauchos look to get it back against LMU and stop this 3-game slide. Until then, thanks for listening and have a fantastic end to your Friday or a splendid start to your Saturday, wherever you'll be. Good night from Goleta.